their payrolls, and the owners of the women in Velesta were tipped off. We saw the great lengths these traffickers go to avoid the law, like installing these secret compartments under the beds. The women were nowhere to be found.
I didn't even know my boss's name until I read in the paper that he had been in court. His name was Bojko Dilaver, but we called him Leko, which is the name for the Albanian currency. Leko said he would teach me what to do with clients. He grabbed me by the back of the head, by the hair, and pushed my head down. He said, "This is what I need to do to clients." I turned my head away, so he hit me in the face. I fell down to the floor. Then he picked me up and we had sex. After that, I had to do other things to him. When we were finished, he gave me 100 Deutsche marks and said it was a tip for my work. "You see," he said, "if you do good work, you get paid."
Ali Ahmeti is the leader of the ethnic Albanian rebel movement in Macedonia, long accused of using drug and human smuggling profits to fuel their Balkans war. The Albanians here in Macedonia are also accused of trafficking drugs and even trafficking human beings.
This is a smear campaign against my fighters. People want to tarnish their image before the international community. We condemn human smuggling and narcotics, and we're working to destroy the brothels in Macedonia.
We asked about brothels, and they said they had been shut down. So you actually shut them down, did you?
Yes, we did.
These owners of brothels in Velesta are very pro-Uchika, and there were some individuals with Uchika uniforms around, we believe. So these individuals may be giving money to you to support your cause.
There is a chance that money could reach us from these brothel owners. We're not so fanatic to say that such money could not reach us. We cannot verify everyone. But the rule is that no money in Uchika should be received through such channels.
The sex industry isn't just a major tourist attraction here in Amsterdam, it's also a big business. $1 billion a year, or 5% of the national economy. And that's created a tremendous demand for prostitutes, a demand met in part by the trafficking of women from Eastern Europe. In the Dutch sex industry, there's more than meets the eye. Scratch the surface off the tourist-filled red light district, and the seedy side shows through. The red light district in Amsterdam can be thought of as glamorous, but this isn't. It's called Thamesweg. The main attraction here is that sex is extremely cheap. It's about $20. In many cases, it's not by choice that women come here. They leave countries in Eastern Europe and the former Soviet Union, where jobs are scarce and life full of economic misery. They chase false promises of a better life abroad, better pay, and end up in places like this. This looks like an ordinary bus stop, but this area is lined with prostitutes. Customers come along in their cars, they'll ask them questions here, and then if they can strike a deal, they'll go back in the car, drive around the end to stalls, and then have sex in the car. This car park, filmed secretly, was built by the Dutch government, which limits the area in which prostitutes can work. There's even a police car watching over the business. But activists and police officers, speaking privately, say that while prostitution is legal in the Netherlands, many of these women are trafficked and forced to work as prostitutes.
Everything is difficult in Moldova. We don't have money to buy bread. We don't have money to pay for electricity. I didn't finish school. I have a young daughter and I cannot study. An acquaintance of mine offered me a job in Italy. I was going to marry him, but he sold me. They beat me and I was afraid. Since there were many men around, I did what they wanted. There were clients on the very first night. My Albanian owners, Meti and GP, beat me if they heard that I didn't want to go with the client or if I disobeyed them. There was no way to escape. We were always locked up. If I saw Matty again, I would use a pistol instead of words. I want to shoot them. One Albanian man took pity on me. I was always crying. He was a client. He took me to the hotel, but he didn't do anything to me. He asked me why I was so upset. I told him everything, how I was tricked and that I didn't want to be there. He promised to help me. He took me 3 times and then he bought me for 5,000 Deutsche marks. Everybody was always hopeful that I would come back. It took me a while to realize that I was really home. In Macedonia, I had a photo of my daughter. I looked at it all the time. They all cried when I came home. Now I'm afraid of everything. I'm afraid to even leave the house or village because I'm afraid that I might be sold again. I've heard that other girls have gone missing. Sometimes I think that the world is an evil place. I feel crazy sometimes. I'm afraid to talk to people. I tremble with fear.